Something I wanted to say, man, I think I'm always going to be more of a physical media person, especially with video games. Just because the experience of browsing a game store to me is way more interesting and exciting than going on your console or your PC and just browsing a digital store. It just isn't the same. Like I went to a game store because I had a whole bunch of games I didn't even need. Got it like $48 off of them. Mostly because a lot of them were just cheap shit that you can get online for fucking dirt cheap. But what did I do? It just, going in, I never been to that store before, but just going into that game store, they had all libraries of all consoles. And I love that experience, whether it's GameStop or that game store I went to. It's just a cool experience to know you're going to a game store, because that's like a candy store for adults, I feel like, especially if you're into games. That's like getting some candy. And I just love the experience of going in there and just looking at the shelves of games, looking at your PlayStation, your Xbox, your Nintendo, and just browsing the selection, seeing what they have, looking at the cover art, looking at the spine of games, going up and buying it, putting it in a bag, on your way home anticipating what the game's going to be like. How is this game going to end up? How is it going to be? And it was just, that experience to me is so cool. I love that experience, You don't get that with digital. Technically, if you wanted to do it a digital meeting way, you go to a store and buy a PlayStation or Xbox card, but it just doesn't feel the same, Those digital stores, when you're browsing the Xbox marketplace and you're browsing PlayStation Network and you're looking at just digital titles, it's not exciting. It's not the same as going into a store that sells physical games. To me, there's a huge difference between the two. It's just because another reason is because it gives you an excuse to get out of the house. I already get tired of being stuck in the house all the time as it is, especially since I don't have a vehicle. I have to get rides a lot of times. But, it gives you an excuse to get out. And it's just a cool environment to be in. I love being around games and all that stuff, having a reason to get out in the world and just go there. And then when you buy a game and you just anticipate what's this going to play like, what it'll be like, you look at the cover art, you got it in your bag, and you just wonder, what's this going to be like? I miss that. And I really hope that sticks around, because digital just isn't as exciting. Like I said, you go on a PlayStation, you go on an Xbox or PC, and you just browse a library and pick games. You don't get to look at front and cover backs. You don't get to look at a selection of games. You don't get to buy a game, look at it. It's just right there. You don't even have to go anywhere. It's just, I don't care for that experience. I just don't.